Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here, and today I'm back for episode number 2 of the Chicago Bears franchise here on Madden NFL 17. So today we're getting into the year 1 off season. In the first episode, in case you missed it, we simulated through all of season number 1 as the owner of the Chicago Bears, and then quickly sold the team and are now taking over as head coach Bill Hills in year number 2. We're going to be looking to draft our quarterback of the future here, but we've got some other scouting to do, looking at some of the guys who popped up in the news. Dylan Stye was one of them, but I was none too impressed with him. Torrey Laws, same thing. Didn't really quite have the attributes that I was looking for out of a first-round middle linebacker prospect. Scouting some more secondary help here, and you can see looking at the safeties, Kent Hill, maybe not a terrible late-round option there. Patriots did beat the Lions in the Super Bowl, and you can see we're on to the re-sign phase of the offseason. Not really anybody here I wanted to re-sign, at least not for their current demands. Could probably get any of these guys back at a lower rate if I wanted to when a free agency started. So here we go. At the start of free agency, you can see it's not a very strong free agent class. Martellus Bennett, Will Hill III, James Harrison, DeMarcus Ware, some of the headlining names, Vernon Davis, Ronald Leary, LeGarrette Blount, Vincent Jackson Jr., Galette. So really no real impact players, I would say. Martellus Bennett could make a difference in the passing game. We could certainly use some weapons for our, hopefully our new young quarterback. And you can see here I decided to go after Eugene Monroe initially here, a 30-year-old left tackle. Pretty solid player, mid-80s in the strength, pass block, run block, and impact block. So thought he could be a nice stopgap player. And then Will Hill I thought could be a really nice safety. He's got good zone ratings, good tackling ability, definitely a good, strong safety. Could definitely be not a cornerstone by any means, but a solid player in our secondary for the next few years. And I could get him at a pretty low rate because he was on the cheap coming off of his suspension. And you can see here looking at a few more secondary players, Kawan Williams and Dre Kirkpatrick. Williams I thought could be a nice number 3, number 4 corner. Kirkpatrick a possible safety, but we did not sign Kirkpatrick. Williams did sign on. Kenny Still is here. I'm going after him. He could be a nice threat on the outside. Very, very fast. I like having fast receivers in this game. We can stretch the defense. Brian Hoyer could be a nice backup or, potentially a one-year stopgap if we don't draft a quarterback. Chase Daniel, same thing. I was thinking if we don't draft a quarterback, Daniel could be the backup. Hoyer would be the starter for the next year. And looking at more guys who are popping up in the news here, Mac Hudden, another tight end, could be someone to look at. So I'm going to Matt Cortez here, not Mac Hudden, but I scouted Hudden and wasn't really too impressed by him. But this is a guy I liked. Parter Peterman, definitely a pass-catching guy, but in the 7th round, who runs a 4.7 40 for a tight end, 6'6". Thought that'd be a nice late-round pick. Could potentially develop into a future number 2 tight end, maybe even a number 1 if we get his blocking up enough. Frank Brandt there, a nice right guard prospect in the 7th round possibly. And then Daniel Page, a nice little outside linebacker. But simulating one more week in the offseason, Kenny Stills and Kareem Jackson do sign on, as does Brian Hoyer. And I'll take the time now to mention, I mentioned this in episode 1, and this is going to be true for at least this episode and the next one, but I am ripping this footage in this video right off of a live stream that I did while my capture card is inoperable right now. I did order a new one that's coming in the mail this week, and at that point you will see my videos return to their peak quality, but for now I'm just using live stream footage, so the quality is not going to be the best. It's only 720p, and it's probably going to look a little weird at points. But here, looking at the quarterbacks one more time, these are the guys that I'm targeting in this draft. And unfortunately, our first-round pick fell to number 8 just because we ended up playing pretty well towards the end of the season, finishing 6-10. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get either of the top 3 guys, but Adcock possibly in the mid-first round could be a guy we give a look to. Taz Brandon, he popped up in the news earlier in the year as an injury. He's looking like a decent 4th, 5th round prospect. Same thing with Traylon Braxton, a potential guy we could move to safety. But I like Brandon because he was solid, both man, zone, and press. And looking at more guys who are popping up in the news, CJ Sparks is one of those, and he is a 3rd round middle linebacking prospect. Pretty good combine report. And at this point, once I get the combine reports, I like to go after the guys with big physical abilities. You can usually find good late-round prospects by guys who have good combine reports, but maybe aren't great otherwise. But anyway, we're coming up in the actual draft, and I'm going to leave the live commentary in there from the live stream because I want you guys to kind of hear some of my thought process, some of the trades I make. I trade down at a couple points and just kind of hear my thought process on picking the certain guys that we do end up picking. So anyway, we are ready for the 2017 NFL Draft, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Damn, Adcock is not projected to go till late first, so we could trade down, possibly, and get him in the late first, because we're not going to get any of the top 3 quarterbacks. Miles did go number 2, which is a little surprising, and the Chiefs took a quarterback. Then a halfback, left tackle. Guys we could have taken, but probably not worth trading up for. Adcock right now is 18 in the big board, but it's more likely that he goes within the next 10 picks, I would say. 10 to 15 picks. And these guys are all guys we trade down for anyway. Jameson Gurley would be nice. If we could somehow trade down and get 2 first rounders, like, that would be awesome, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, the trading down is just not great in this. I like Adcock just because I can always trade him next year if I don't think he's the guy at the end of the day. Alright, there we go. Alright, hopefully the quarterback doesn't get taken. He did not. I don't think that left tackle got taken either, to be honest. They took a left tackle, but they didn't take Cassidy Shirley. Very surprising. And Jameson Gurley is still available. There are a lot of good, to like in the mid-20s potentially. I think I would, because there are a few players I like in this late first round. It would be nice to get Shirley and then get Adcock later if I could trade up right now. Because Adcock is still 12 picks away. I think it's more likely he goes within the next 5 or 6 picks though. I think we just gotta take the quarterback now if you really want him. Even though his combine was terrible. Alright, let's do it. Oh, okay. Alright, that's not terrible. Even though he got the slow development, it's not the end of the world. If we have a good enough rookie season with him, we can get enough XP where maybe we can get him at least up to normal, if not quick development. But worst case scenario, this is definitely a trade chip. Alright, let's see if that... Okay, Gourlay went 19th. The left tackle is still available though. The only thing is, I don't know. I mean, we could get Dallas Whitman, maybe. When do we pick? Isaac Schick. Alright, so hopefully we can get one of those linebackers. If one of them goes, we might have to trade up. I think we're going to get one of these guys. Okay, Whitman just got picked. Alright, should I try and trade up to 37? The guy I really want is Isaac Schick, but he's not even projected to go to late second round. I think we could probably get him at 41, but if I don't, I'm going to be kicking myself.
The Giants are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Browns are
one more. Yes. All right, he fell to 41. That was a little bit of a risk. But right now, I'm not really working with the kind of capital where I can just trade up at will. All right, Schick, that's a nice pick in the second round. 76 overall with quick development. Pretty good ratings except for the 75 tackle. His strength is going to be mid-80s, I think. Low 80s. 82 speed. So he's not, I mean, he's not spectacular, but he'd be a good player. Which is why at some point, you know, you could consider trading these guys. Now we could definitely play him at right outside over Willie Young. Can move Young back on the end, probably over Mitch Unrain. So our front seven would start to take form a little bit, and you know, we patchwork the secondary. So I could see some incremental improvements with this team moving into next year. Probably shouldn't have gone all the way. I think we have a 4th round pick, but I'm gonna double check. And then we have this guy who we'd love to get in the 5th round. That's gonna be the ideal 4-5. Taz Brandon wouldn't be bad either. So let's try and trade down. If we could pick up a 4th and a 5th for this pick. It's 2 2018 picks. There's a 3rd and a 5th. Might do that. Yeah, we're going to do that because I want the picks for this year. There are guys in this draft that I want. Cornelius, Brandon, and Diedrich. Yeah, Brandon could be a safety, but he's really fast and he's got decent ratings. He's a little old, but these 3 guys are the guys I want right now. I'm trying to figure out how to pull this off. I think Diedrich is the guy I could spare the most. But I still really want him. Do I try and trade down one more time? Since this is 85 right now, and I could still probably wait to early 4th. 4th and a 6th. The thing about that is I could use that 5th and that 6th I got from Atlanta to trade up. Now I have 2 4th round picks too. Early 4th, we got to get that wide receiver. Kind of pushing it close right here. Alright, he's still available. Zach Cornelius, nice. That's a solid pick right there. And we pick 106 and 112. Alright. So we can get all 3 of these guys right here. Let's get Taz Brandon though. Damn. I didn't even realize he was 6'4". That stinks that he's slow. He's got the good physical skills. Let's do it. 70 overall. So probably one of the worst picks of our draft relative, but not a complete disaster. I mean, that guy's still probably usable. And for the last two picks of this draft, I'm going to go back to post commentary here. But Parter Peterman, we choose in the 6th round. He is a pretty solid tight end, 70 overall, but good pass catching ability. And then this was a steal here, a 75 overall left tackle in the 7th round. I chose him over Cedric Newman, that fast halfback. But anyway, here's a recap of our draft. So I would say it was pretty successful. Still kind of mixed on the quarterback pick. I think we could have done better. You can see Jason Otis here, kind of a bust for the #1 pick. I mean, he's only 21, but the ratings weren't that great, and he only has normal development. This would have been the guy here, Kendrick Whitehead. Quick development, very strong arm, good ratings otherwise. And then Sam Eldridge, he actually might have been the even better pick, very strong arm as well, and he's got that superstar development, 22 years of age. He goes to Kansas City at #4. But anyway, here we're switching Kareem Jackson to a free safety, and then that is going to wrap up the offseason. So in the next episode, I'm going to have maybe the first 4 weeks or so. The thing about how I play the Madden games now is I just play the key moments because it gets through the games pretty quickly. And I recorded the first 2 games into this same live stream, so I have that footage. I might live stream some more of it, possibly today, Sunday. But we will see. I'm also going to have that update video that I was talking about coming out soon, so look for that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy, and Zos, I'm out. Peace.